Alright, Shalom, Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shai, Hashem, Kakodash. This is part 2, so this is another rabbi, and pretty much you're going to see what he's saying, but I got this from the page of Go Back to Africa. You know, we don't believe in the flea doctrine. We believe that the Lord is going to take us back to Israel. You know, that's what prophecy tells us in the Bible, you know, but our people is waking up to knowing that we're the Hebrew Israelites, and that's more important. You know, there's some things that's more important than other things. You know, the full truth is important, you know, but us uniting and coming back together, you know, everything else will be solved, you know. So like, if you got people with different understandings of different scriptures and stuff like that, all of that will be worked out once we come together, because once we come together, the Lord will be there with us, you know, to work out everything of what is the right perspective on these things. So which one's more important, you know? But not to go off on that, you know, this is just part 2, and I want you to pay attention to what he's saying. People are waking up, you know, and they're trying to get ahead of the story, in front of the story, and pretty much what they're coming to say is like so-called African Americans are from the northern tribe, and that they're still from the southern tribe. And then we all know that Judah is the kings, you know, like the top tribes, right? So because, you know, Yahushua came from the tribe of Judah, you know, so they're trying to pretty much still wrap it around and say we must come under them and how they want it. But it's all a part of just trying to escape judgment. You read about that in Jeremiah 49. They're trying to escape that judgment, so they're trying to latch on to it, you know. But it's still a problem, because the Lord promised us, you know, that he would give us vengeance too, you know. So vengeance to who, you know? So you can't try to take away that part. We're going to get our vengeance, and you can't try to take away our vengeance from us, even though you're scared, you know. But let's listen to what he said.
Because the revelation that I'm giving you today is not Rabbi Shapira. Heavens spoke to me. Heavens spoke to me. And he told me, change the plans for this Shabbat. Change everything for the Shabbat. Something supernatural is about to happen with Africa and with the African American community. Let me say it again. Something supernatural is about to happen with the African American community. I have given 1,400 messages.
Well, see, the thing is, he says something supernatural is about to happen with the African community, and it's in the Bible, you know. 1 Corinthians 15, Revelations 2, starting at like verse 25, 26, 27. You know, the Lord is going to give us power, you know, spiritual power, you know. That's what's about to happen. The elect is going to be saved, and they're going to be changed in a twinkling eye, and that's when the Lord, you know, returns, you know. But even before that, you know, the curses are going to start to be put on our enemies, and the curses are going to start to be lifted off of us, you know. So there's a lot of stuff leading up to our Lord coming back.
I never once.
And he's only saying that because everything that's been going on, and he's been seeing a great awakening of our people now. So that, like I said, they're bandwagon. So now they're trying to hop on and be first to the story, pretty much.
Address the African American community. But tonight, I am.
What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy.
And this is the guy back to Africa, you know, and I found this page. Let's see.
To do with the African.
Watch this video. Please watch to the end.
African community.
You'll be led astray.
Now, what does that have to do with the African American community? That's where we have to turn to the Bible. We have to understand what the prophets of Israel has been telling us and been prophesying to prepare us for this day. And it's not going to be a long message, but it's very clear. Friends, I'm sitting down praying, and a voice from heaven speaks to me. Today, I have to tell you what the voice of heaven has said. Here is what the voice from heaven said. Are you ready? The voice of heaven said, Africa has the seed of Israel all throughout the continent. All throughout the continent. This was a surprise for me, friends, when I saw these clusters in Africa, when I start to hear the report. Friends, because of you, we distributed 1,000 books. And our people rejoicing, our people returning to the roots. We are starting to hear reports of revelation in Africa.
So yeah, very disturbing, right? Like that information hasn't been out there. When we went into when the transatlantic slave trade happened, they already knew who was there. You could look at the old maps. It had locations where it was located, labeled Judah. So these things was already known. And really, when you talk about the Northern Kingdom being in the Americas, that was already known too by the explorers, Columbus and all them. That was already known too. So it's very disturbing. But like I said, you can't do nothing against the truth but for the truth. So even though there still is some truth in there, so there still is some light there. And that's where we come into. We come into the picture because we could take these things and make it plain upon the table for our people. Now, speaking about our people, this is disturbing, but even more disturbing than this is I just seen a video earlier of a Judite woman, an Israelite woman, and she pretty much was shitting on the whole truth. I don't know if she was like a part of the Christian church or something like that, but she pretty much was like, you can't use Deuteronomy 28. You guys have no proof. And one of the things that she said that stuck out was like, you have no DNA proof. But now here it comes. Now the people that she probably look up to, now they coming out and saying, yeah, there is DNA proof, and those guys are the Israelites. So we got them coming out and admitting, yeah, we are the Israelites, and some of them are actually Israelites too. Some of them actually are Israelites too, by blood. And then, because you remember we were scattered amongst all people everywhere. But then with them coming out and admitting, we got our own people that's coming out and trying to fight against it. So it's like crazy when you really think about it. Like, damn, she trying to fight against it. They coming out and admitting it. Now, what you gonna do? You gonna go fight against them too and say, yeah, but she is an Israelite, and argue the fact that no, we're not Israelites, and even they are saying that we are Israelites now. You see how crazy he is, and pretty much she said she was debunking that the whole Israelite thing is a cult, but she didn't give no facts. All she did was ask questions. Say, well, what about this? And it makes no sense. What walls were besieged? And shit that could be answered easily. She just didn't have the knowledge for it, which is crazy. But she got to be careful, man, because I know that if she ever hear my video or whatever, I know that you doing that out of spite. You doing that because, you got a following on the internet and you think you the shit. You kind of big-headed and you going at it based off your understanding, but you gotta see, this is what I always say, you always want to remain blameless, man. Why would you jump out on a branch like that, when clearly you still need to learn a lot? You a woman, why would you jump out there on a branch like that? So just that, the internet following and your opinion on something, that's enough to risk your life over? Because if you keep scoffing like that, right? 2 Peter chapter 3, you keep scoffing like that, right? It's going to be a judgment that's going to come for you. So even if you disagree with it, just keep your mouth closed, sit back and watch. And pray to the Lord that he gives you the understanding of what is the truth and what is not the truth. You ain't got to jump out on a branch like that. But let's let him play this.
Of the Jewishness.
I feel like I'm spending way too much time dealing with other people's
of the Jewishness among the Lambas from Kenya, from the Igbos, from Madagascar. We're getting all of those reports, and God spoke to me before I even opened the scriptures. And he says to me, you know what this is happening? This is happening because the bride have an article of clothing in Africa, and unless Africa is ready, the bride cannot be ready. Remember the
So he pretty much saying Africa, the Igbos, but he's going to link that to the African Americans because they say, that's where the slaves were taken in the west part of Africa, right? Nigerians and all that stuff, Nigeria. And pretty much he's gonna say, pretty much what he's saying is the Lord ain't coming back to go into the marriage with us pretty much until the Africans are woken up to who they are too and coming to the fold. That's pretty much what he's saying. That's crazy, ain't it? But then at the same time, we got this sister saying that it's all a cult.
Bride is whole. The bride is full, and a major part.
And he's saying that based off of little DNA testings that they did on the on you know, the West Africans and stuff like that. You know, but this sister is saying there ain't no DNA testings, which we don't need DNA testings to prove that we're the Israelites. We've been saying it.
Of the house of Israel, what we scripture call Zera Israel, the seed of Israel, is right there, hidden in Africa. In a minute, you will understand what's happening in the United States of America. Tune in with me. Stay on this message right now. I need you to focus. It's starting to happen among the natural branch in Africa, which is the seed of the house of Israel. This is the root. They are returning to the root. Zimbabwe is experiencing a return to the root. And when Zimbabwe, Patpotsi, when Nigeria, where Kenya, where Madagascar will return to the root, it will affect every black person in the world. You know why? Because they are spiritually connected to Africa, and Africa connected to the 12 tribes of the house of Israel. So if we heal the root, we are going to be healing the entire, which including the African American community, friend, in the United States. But Satan doesn't want it. So now what does he do? He is turning African Americans against Jewish people without knowing that they are affecting the root that they actually belong to. And there's only one who can restore them to the real identity, and his name is Yeshua. And the time is now. This is why we are seeing this revival. Look with me what it says according to our sages. It says, according to Amos chapter 9 verse 7. Check this out. I saw this verse, I was floored. It says Israel, these northern tribes, Nikreu, they are called Kushim. They call Kushim. The word Kushim comes from the word Kush. Kush is Ethiopia, or the area surrounding Ethiopia. And it says that Israel is likened, or they are called Kushim. As it is say, Kushim comes from the word black. As it is says, this is from the Talmud, quoting Amos chapter 9, verse 7, Alo kibnei.
Yeah, but you read verse 11 and verse 12, what's going to happen to Esau and their lands and their people too. Let's see.
Moses and the wife of Moses, referred to in Hebrew as Cushi, which is referred to as Ethiopian or black. Can you
The Ethiopians are not Israelites. They're Ethiopians. They come from the seed of Ham. The Israelites come from the seed of Shem. The Lord said He made a difference between the Ethiopians and His people, the Israelites. Even though we look similar.
Because I know that they explain, because the Midrash, the oral Torah, kind of gets into that whole idea a little bit. If you could expand on that.
Well, first, it just seems like a glaring contradiction because in first her it's a Cushite, and we know she was the daughter of a Midianite priest, and they were Midianites. So was she one or was she the other? And the commentators come in to help us based on what they've received from the transmission all the way.
And I disagree with the guy back to Africa. He's trying to wrap just all Africans and Hamites into. They're trying to get the promise too. It's only for Israel, Israelites by blood. So I actually agree with this rabbi on this. It is a contradiction. It's not that. It's just that the word black, which they explain.
Moses is what they would have said to any of the Ethiopians that they had that beauty. So
Cushing. Why? Because the prophet is telling us that there is part of Israel, let's call them the remnant, let's call them those who have been scattered, who are like the Cushim. Now, when the prophets speak about them, he's not speaking about them in a favorable way. Why? Because they've been scattered. You are just like it's translated as Ethiopia. You are like the have anybody who is black. Now I'm not but every black person is from the seed of Israel. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that, as we're going to see in 1 minute, it is this specific group of the house of Israel who is scattered in Africa that is called Cushim. That's speaking about, specifically here, about a subset from the house of Israel. Now check this out, what the prophet's saying. Is their name Cushim? Jewish people, Africans, like the Hebrew. So too the Jewish people are distinguished by their action, and they are different from all other nations. And we have today groups in Africa, like the Hebrew, like the Lambas. They are completely distinguished from the other groups in their customs, in their tradition. And here the Talmud itself recorded, it says at times they're going to look at Cushites like regular of Israel. We have a movement today that is a very dangerous movement. They call the Black Israelites. They're anti-Semitic. They hate the Jewish people. But you see, this is what a Satan wants to do. He wants to take a little grain of truth and he wants to twist it, pervert it, and
which is exactly what he's doing.
Manipulate it. In reality, the prophets of Israel explain to us that it is this exact seed of Zera Israel, of the seed of Israel that found in Africa. Not only that is a Jewish seed, it is the seed that is needed to bring Israel to salvation. The prophets of Israel have agreed. It is those who are the least among Shapira. How do you know that? I know it because my Bible, the nations coming to the fullness.
What do you think? Now let me hit on the points that he said right here.
Hey, salvation to the elect.